So we come back into the studio, and the crowd's going nuts. The first character that we get to see is, as I described him, he's the hero of the journey of the Black and Gold brand, for the most part, or at least the first hero, and it's Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Wrong music, though.
No,
Sami.
it's not the music I'm thinking of my head.
Yeah.
I know his music in my head, and the second you said Sami Zayn, I'm going, whoa,
whoa. I was like, Rachel's gonna do jukebox for us. I can tell she wants to do it. Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun.
Immediately go into that. Like I hear it, and it's like, oh, he looks like such a baby here and everything. Because it's like I know Sammy at this point, so it's just like funny that it's like.
So Rachel, as we did for the Rumble, I feel like we have to describe some of these characters, as a lot of them will be with us through the NXT journey. Mm-hmm. You want to describe Sammy for us?
Oh, like the look,
personality,
kind of like
character, yeah.
Well, he's a very so he's Syrian.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I don't know what if he's like half Syrian or something, but he is Syrian.
I went with the other guy. All of a sudden, my brain went to Sheamus. Yeah. Because I was like Redbeard.
He's from Quebec, but he's Muslim, so because he's like half Syrian or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's Syrian. Okay. Well, the thing is with Sammy, he's been all over the damn place. So right now his like pants have the flags of like every place that he's wrestled in, which every country's flag, which is really cool, and it's really fun that he does that. But he's like a super like nice guy, like. I don't know how to describe
that is his character.
That is
that's
his character.
Yeah.
And he's scruffy, and he's just kind of like
he's an everyman.
Cool dude.
Yeah. He's just like this nice guy that's just really
like. Well, you can't say he's not the full on everyman. That I would say is Kevin Owens, but I would say everyman.
Sure.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm gonna like about NXT, because Rachel has like all this knowledge of the characters too, but she has a different viewpoint on it. It's what's gonna make this really fun. Gargano's like kind of an everyman too, but he's a nerd. Like he's different than
he does
Sammy
seem nerdier.
Sammy and Kevin are more like the guy at the Home Depot buying stuff to fix the toilet, and Johnny's at the toy store buying an action figure. But they all have that idea.
Oh man.
Yeah, so Sammy comes out. I think that described him perfectly. And the crowd's doing Sammy chants. Because of his background in ROH, he was El Generico. He was
Generico.
Yes, he was the generic
It's
luchador.
Amazing. I love it.
They would do Olay chants. So he gets Olay, Olay, Olay,
yeah, Olay, Olay, Olay.
He gets to this day. I'm pretty sure at WrestleMania they were doing Olay, Olay, Olay.
How could you not? How could you not?
And they go to the announce team.
Yes.
So, the announce team is not exactly JR, King, and Vince that we had on the Rumble 97.
Yeah.
It's Todd Phillips, Byron Saxton, and God bless him, William Regal, who I love.
Oh, I love it.
I
love William Regal.
He is so good. He's good on this show too, but he is like trying to drag these two nothings along.
It does feel that way. And then they like he'll say something and then they just like nothing. And it's like, guys. Guys.
Well, part
like,
of it
keep going with it.
Yeah, exactly. And part of it is
like,
that
don't just ignore it. Don't like go off on some other tangent.
Yeah, he's saying something for you to play with. And
then all of a sudden they'll repeat it and it's like, yeah, I just said that. It's like it's like you read the wrong note card, you idiot. Like, move on.
Todd and Byron, I think, are both still with the company. I can't remember what they both do at this point. Several times, Rachel, I don't know if I'm quoting Todd or Byron Saxton. They sound exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, they have very similar voices.
It feels like they have the same, like, idea
they have announcer voices.
Of what their character is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So you can tell that because they were like, well, we want to go to Raw or SmackDown, we're doing generic announcer voice. And it's almost to
And then here's Regal.
Yeah, and then there's Regal.
Being Regal.
William Regal, who is a British wrestler, his character is almost like the old scrappy vet. He actually retired. His retirement match was in December in NXT. He fought Cesaro. And that was the last match he wrestled. Yeah, which helps come to play in AEW when we do that show down the line. when they were both in AEW. Because Regal is, again, Triple H's Pat Patterson. He went back to WWE when Triple H got... Apparently...
Oh, no.
Regal... So, Tony Khan... I get to do Tony Khan and William Regal now.
Oh boy.
Thanks, William. I'm glad that you came over to AEW, and we have a lot of things planned. That's great. I was fired unceremoniously from my job with WWE because apparently they aren't going to go try to find the best wrestlers around the world. They're just going to go find washed-up athletes to become NXT superstars, and that's what they're going to go with now because Triple H has had to retire because of his heart condition. So I'm glad to be here. However, Mr. Khan, I'm going to put it in my contract that if Triple H ever becomes in charge of creative, I get to leave this place and to go back to WWE to be Triple H's number 2. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Were you going to be Tony Khan?
No, keep going.
Well, I suppose I really don't have a lot of control over any of my wrestlers, so that's fine. That's fine.
It's a munchkin.
You go look up Tony Khan. I got him pretty well on.
Well, no, I was just thinking it's like I could see Regal going, I want to be over Triple H. I want to be his boss next time. Like
if AEW ever buys WWE, I become the Triple H and he becomes the Pat Patterson.
That's right. And then it becomes really like just it has that huge British pop to it, so it's just super elegant all the time.
So we haven't even gotten to Cesaro coming out yet. So Cesaro comes out in his We the People garb.
We the People.
I like this gimmick, though. So on Raw and SmackDown, Cesaro was part of the We the People stable, which the stable was essentially MAGA before MAGA. So they had like their Don't Tread on Me sign and stuff like that. And Zeb Coulter, who was the manager for the We the People, brought in Cesaro because he was trying to say, like, look, see, I'm not xenophobic. I brought this Swiss Superman into the stable. So I'm not
Swiss
racist.
Superman.
So this might have been before they called him the Swiss Superman, but that's kind of Cesaro's thing. He looks just like Jason Statham.
Yes, he does. 100%. I think I probably had gotten them confused before.
I'm sure you have, yeah.
So.
And he's the strongest motherfucker ever.
Oh my god, he's nuts.
He is so
This guy
strong.
understands the physics of bodies. Like you'll get it later, but like he understands the physics of how to like whip people around.
Because he's not like the biggest guy, but he just knows how to like lift people and roll people over. It's amazing. We are going to get to some Cesaro matches or some Claudio Castagnoli matches that are going to be fantastic. This is one of them. So here we go. Regal says that Cesaro is 10 times the wrestler he ever was. So he's putting over Cesaro here. They talk about the match that made NXT in August, like I said, the match that truly made NXT what it is. Crowd starts chanting match of the year before it even starts.
Because they just know.
The bell rings and they stare each other down. There's a lockup. Cesaro overpowers Sami. Cesaro outmuscles him again. It really is crazy how loud the crowd can get in this studio. It's impressive.
For it.
And it brings you into the moment because so much of WWE crowds can be quiet. Well, I found a solution to that. And the solution is pipe in the crowd noise. COVID,
that's just because of how COVID happened.
COVID helped us with that.
That was creepy. I didn't like that. The ghost crowds. Ugh.
Some wrestling goes back and forth. Cesaro gets the advantage again. Regal says that Sami Zayn wanted this match because he thrives for Cesaro's respect. He wants Cesaro's respect, and that's why they've been doing all of this back and forth, and that's why Sami wanted to fight Cesaro again. So that's the story of the match. Sami is looking for respect. It's what drives him. A backflip by Cesaro. Sami lands on his feet, though. He tries for a Hurricane Rana. That is reversed again because Cesaro is strong as a freaking ox, so it gets reversed. And then eventually he is able to Hurricane Rana him again. Cesaro goes to the outside. And then Sami goes over the top rope and does a plancha on Cesaro. and you get the first NXT chance during the match. The announcers talk about the past matches that these two have had. This is awesome chants break out. This is a new thing for the 2010s, is the this is awesome chants.
I do like those chants. Those are fun to do.
Yeah. For those of you that are new to wrestling or like just listen to our Royal Rumble 97.
Do I have to do the chants so they understand?
Well, the thing is, like, when we watch 97 Rumble, there's not a lot of chanting. The Attitude Era starts the
not
chants.
Not quite as much.
Like the asshole chants and like some of those chants. It's more of just loud yelling and cheering.
Right.
Then ECW started doing chants because it was a smarky crowd. And that carried over into smart crowds. And then NXT, of course, is just rotten with fucking chants because the crowd cannot help itself. The crowd can be very obnoxious at full sale.
It can get really bad sometimes.
And the NXT crowd, because it's a lot of the, like, you know, the people that are just terminally online reading wrestling stuff can be super annoying. And they can do that. Yeah. They even do that during the show a couple times, which I'll point out.
Yeah. No, I think I know what you're going to say. I think I know those points. Yeah. Well, because, like, even when we were in the crowds, right?
Oh, yeah, we would be like, fucking stop.
You'd have those chanters, but then you'd have the opposite side going, shut up, pretty much, so, like, they'd overpower them. I remember so that would shut them up. And it was always great when that would happen. Yeah.
Sami goes to the top rope, goes for a crossbody. Cesaro catches him and backbreaks him. Good God, what a spot. I mean, that was amazing. That only gets a 2, though. And Sami rolls to the outside. Cesaro throws Sami into a barricade when they're on the outside and then brings him back in. Regal says Cesaro has gained confidence over the last 6 months. So that's the difference between the Cesaro that Sami faced in August versus the Cesaro that Sami is facing now, is that he's a much more confident competitor.
Sure.
They say he's beaten Orton and Cena, and I don't remember any of that. I don't remember Cesaro beating Orton or Cena, but apparently he did.
I could see it happening.
Well, they're building up Cesaro, especially for what happens at WrestleMania 14, and then they just forget about him, and Vince doesn't know what he's supposed to do.
Which sucks. Yeah.
Saxton, I think, says that Sami has been the underdog forever. They go back in the ring, and Cesaro throws him out again. Cesaro throws Sami into the barricade again. Regal points out Cesaro
there's a lot of in and out, in and out.
Yeah, a lot of in and out at this point. Yeah. Regal points out Cesaro adds punishment, even putting Sami in the ring, because he hits Sami onto the ring instead of rolling him into the ring like usual.
Right. He slams him into it and then pushes him in, type of thing. Yeah.
A hot shot over the barricade, and then Cesaro rams Sami's back into the side of the ring. And then the pace kind of slows down a bit, so Cesaro can take over.
You say take over, but he's been he has control of this match.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah, because Sami is just taking a beating at this point.
Which, I mean, that's part of the Sami, that's the shtick, right? Like, you have to...
Right, but he keeps getting back up.
Yeah.
And he keeps going.
Yeah.
It's that drive.
Right, exactly. It's supposed to be like this drive that he just has to keep fighting. Cesaro goes to ram Sami's knee against the ring post. So he's like got him in the corner, and he's going to like take one knee and he's going to swing it into the ring post. But Zayn counters and he pulls Cesaro into the ring post. So Cesaro has stumbled for a second. And then it's a repeat of a spot from their August match where Sami... So here's what Sami wants to do, Rachel. It's crazy. It's a crazy move.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he can do it anymore. Like, physically, I don't know if Sami can do it anymore.
He's probably not allowed to do it anymore.
Actually, I don't know. I have to watch the match against Roman. Maybe he did it against Roman. He's going to run and jump
from the bottom. Okay, mind you, he's not in the ring right now.
Yeah, they're on the outside of the ring. He's going to jump from the floor up through the bottom ropes in the turnbuckle corner, come out the other side, and DDT Cesaro. That's what he's going to try to do.
Yep.
Okay?
Insanity.
So he runs from one corner. I think you can do this in the video game. He goes through the ropes, And Cesaro knows what's coming, and he uppercuts his ass
straight into the face.
Right in the face, and Zayn just hangs on the turnbuckle, which is Sami Zayn's like the world's best seller. Like he just kind of like hangs dead. That's a really good moment. It gets a holy shit chant from the crowd, which is also one of my favorite chants in wrestling.
Staple. That's a beautiful chant. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Cesaro drags the leg across the post again. Phillips says that that's the injured leg of Sami.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I said I can't tell the difference between Tom and Byron, so I'm going to say one or the other.
Yeah, they really do sound very
It's impossible
very
to tell which one is talking.
It's those two, the twins and Regal.
Yeah, I think Byron is a little more doing color, and Todd Phillips is doing the...
Yeah.
Or Tom Phillips is doing the play-by-play.
Yeah.
But I can't tell. Cesaro punishes Sami's leg. He starts to work it over.
Oh, yeah.
This is where I mentioned that about the camera work. The camera work, still to this day, in WWE, is annoying as fuck.
Oh, my God.
I don't know when it started. I really don't know when this started. You can see the cameraman doing it, too. He's not zooming in and out. He's going up and down with his body.
He's physically moving his body.
I don't know why.
Back and forth and up and down. And it's, like, nauseating.
Kevin Dunn decided that this was a good idea. At some point, they decided to, every single, like, impact move, to fucking zoom in on the camera. And, like, it just, like, bounces. And it makes you nauseous if you watch it too long. It's awful. NXT's not as bad. They did it here, though, but they don't do it as much in NXT.
No, it's very subtle. It's very subtle in this, at least. It's not as crazy as it gets in WWE.
Oh,
that is like...
It's awful in WWE. I'm glad that they don't do it in AEW because it's so bad. Like, if you're afraid we're not going to see it connect, shoot it from a different angle. Don't bounce the camera so I can't see what's going on. They did catch the uppercut in slow motion, though, which I thought was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Double stomp on the knee by Cesaro. That only gets 2. And then... Okay. So, Rachel and I on this show have made fun of the fact that we'll go hashtag shelf life or hashtag whatever. Part of that is because we're making fun of this goddamn company. And pretty much every company at this point that just loves talking about their social media presence. Because they can't not say...
Well, they have to. That's just marketing for you.
They're trending worldwide and stuff like that. They don't do it
we're on Twitter. You notice that we're trending right now?
And it's just like, oh yeah, it's 2014. Like everything.
Make sure to use hashtag NXT. It's like, okay.
Yeah, make sure, and you guys make sure to use
flash on the screen for a
NXT
second.
Shelf Life. Hashtag whatever.
Hashtag Shelf Life Podcast.
Yeah, you know.
Hashtag podcast experience.
Podcast
Adventures in podcasts. I don't know. What do you want from me?
Yeah, whatever. Hashtag Jeremy's iron. It's just so bad. I guess Triple H and Sami Zayn were trending at this point. So folks at home, go back and go to February 27th, 2014 in the Wayback Machine, see if it was trending. Oof. Cesaro continues his legwork. Zayn fights back. Cesaro goes off the ropes, and Zayn hits him with a kick to create a little bit of distance. The bouncy cam is on the stomps, too. I said it was not very good. Cesaro stops at this point to taunt the crowd and do his We the People. It is good. Like, it's a heel gimmick, but it's... The problem with it is it's catchy, because you want to do the We the People.
That's the problem with, like, most of the stuff, though. Like, the stuff they don't want you to get into is the stuff you get into.
No, that's true.
Because they have way more fun with it.
Cesaro picks up Zayn, does another Dragon Whip. At this point, we get Olay chants, like we said before. Sami starts to fight back. He misses an Enziguri, and now he's in a Boston Crab. And it's not just, like, any Boston Crab. Cesaro puts him in this...
Which is a submission hold.
Thank you, Rachel. You're right. You're
sorry.
Welcome. I did not describe what a Boston Crab is. You want to tell the folks at home what a Boston Crab is?
You just start thinking about a crab, and then it's just like, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I don't know why this is called a Boston Crab, but, like, do you want to
I guess that's because of the way his legs are.
Maybe, yeah.
Because, like, he has to hold him up in, like, the happy baby pose. Like, I don't know.
It's like, a submission hold. Well, people might know submissions more because of, like, UFC and stuff. But yeah, it's
maybe.
He has his leg. It's a single leg Boston Crab. So he's got one leg pulled back, like, under his shoulder, and he's, like, trying to, like, pull it and stretch it as much as he can.
And then, like, twist it at the same time, I think.
So it's, like, putting a lot of strain. I think it actually puts strain on your back.
It's going for his knee and his back, I think. Because I had knee issues at one point in my life, and I know that the way he's holding it, I'm like, I could feel the tendon, the way it would stretch.
Well, the key with all of these submission holds in professional wrestling is that you do it, but you don't put any pressure on it so that it doesn't hurt somebody. Because, like, in real life, if you were in any of these submission holds, you tap immediately because it would hurt like hell. You would tear something, so you'd have to tap out the second that you're in the hold. But in wrestling, you sit in it for a while. So Zayn is sitting in this for a while, and he eventually makes it to the ropes.
Yeah, they're pretty much just stretching each other out at that point, too. It's just like a nice, like, push into it a little bit. There you go.
But how much damage has been done now to the knee of Sami? A big kick from Sami, and he flips Cesaro over the top rope again when Cesaro goes to clothesline him or something. Sami bounces off the top rope. He goes for a moonsault. So it's supposed to be like I think it's an acai moonsault. I think that's what this move is called. Where you bounce off the top rope and then you go for a moonsault. He goes for this. Cesaro catches him in midair, mind you.
Yes.
And then slams him on the ramp. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this man is so freaking strong. That gets NXT chance.
Oh, it has to. It has to.
This is where I haven't watched this show or this match in years, and I was like, "Oh my god, this match is great." So Regal praises Cesaro as the ultimate competitor. Zayn has to beat the 10 count now because he got slammed on the outside.
Right, he has to get in.
Yeah. So again, for folks that don't know wrestling yet, because you will by the time we're done with you, there's a count out. So you are only allowed to be outside of the ring for 10 or 20 seconds in some promotions, but most of the time it's 10. And if you don't make it back into the ring, but by the time that the referee counts to 10, you get counted out and you lose automatically. Mm-hmm. So Sami is able to make it back inside the ring at 9, but barely. And he does a good job of doing that, like, almost there. Like, if the ref was actually counting, he would have been out.
Yeah, if the ref was actually counting properly.
There are dueling chants for both Cesaro and Sami at this point. Cesaro charges into the corners. Zayn catches him this time, and he exploder suplexes him, which is like a very tight suplex, like over your head, where if the guy isn't good at what he's doing, he's really going to hurt his neck on the turnbuckle, but it's Cesaro, so it's good. That only gets a 2. There's this guy in the front row, Rachel. I'm going to point him out to you and all of our listeners, and you're never going to be able to watch this show without seeing him again.
Okay.
He looks like Wilford. He looks like Wilford Brimley. He's got the gray hair. He's got the mustache. And he doesn't seem amused by anything.
Of course.
Do you see this man?
Wait, there he is. There he is.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He looks... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So...
I think that mustache really hides everything.
Yes,
you don't know.
That's why I grew mine out.
He looks just...
I decided I needed to grow a mustache out to hide what I was thinking. Yeah, but that's what he looks like. I love finding those guys in the crowd because, like, I feel like I'm that sometimes where it's like I'm kind of hiding, like, oh, like I inside I'm like that was pretty great, but I'm not like doing it. So yeah,
sure.
A Blue Thunder Bomb by Sami. I love the Blue Thunder Bomb. I don't know. It feels like the move, Rachel, that if we were playing the video game and you were creating a character, you'd give him the Blue Thunder Bomb because it's that twirling power bomb. That
100%.
So good.
If you guys ever play those games and you get to like create your characters, I pick all of the fun flippy moves that look insane. That's like really hard to pull off in the game.
Yeah, you have to.
They're so fun.
Yeah. Sami does a flatliner on Cesaro and then moves it into another submission hold. This one's called a Koji Clutch, where he's got... Can you describe the Koji clutch, Rachel? Because it's like a weird... This one's a weird submission hold.
Your one leg holds down the person on their back, and then your other one goes and wraps around their head. Yeah, like in a chokehold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds funky because it is.
And the question is Cesaro going to tap? Whenever in wrestling they ask, is he going to tap? He's probably not going to tap. Like I've noticed that's kind of a thing that when you're a kid you probably don't notice, but like as an adult it's like, well, they just said they just asked is he gonna tap, so probably not. So Cesaro counters this into this interesting stretch where he's got he's got Sami's whole like
he's pretty much he's pretty much doing like the ballerina pose.
Is that what this is?
Like, so yeah, like you pull your leg up to your head.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of the pose he's putting Sami Zayn into.
All right.
Like the dancer's pose.
Okay.
And like where like his foot is almost to his head, but he's like laying on the ground like Superman.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing that. It's just like it's being stretched almost to touching his head. Very flexible.
It's a good submission hold. It looks painful. Sami's in trouble. The announcers are putting over, what does it mean that does it mean that much to him to gain the respect, to have like a torn ligament, but if he gains his respect, is it worth it? Sami finally gets to the rope. I think it's interesting that the best wrestlers always have to gauge how long to sit in these holds, because if you don't time it right, you're going to lose the crowd, as opposed to like being able to time it so that the crowd is still ready for you to get to that rope.
Yes.
So that's an art form in itself, just being able to do that.
Yeah, just to be able to like, time like any of these special moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cesaro shakes his head like, okay, I'll try something else. He tries to get Sami into the giant swing, but Zayn counters into a pin. But then he grabs him again, and this time he's able to swing him.
Yep.
And the camera was nauseating because they zoom in and out on this swing, and I was like, you guys have to stop that. Which I guess it makes sense for the swing. For
the swing, it makes sense. Yeah. This feels right. Because you're supposed to feel like, now you're Sami spinning around the ring.
It's not like gonna
Sami's
hurt you.
Flipping out the entire time.
It's not supposed to like hurt you, but it's supposed to make you disoriented, so then your opponent can do something to you because you're disoriented.
It is funny to see the different characters and the way they respond to being
swung
around, though. Yeah, because some of them will hold their head to stop them from getting too disoriented physically. And, like, here Sami is just waving his arms and spastic, and it's great.
It does disorient Zayn. And then a big uppercut by Cesaro. Zayn counters into a pin, though. He gets another 2. But then as Cesaro comes out of that pin, he stops Sami Zayn in the head. That also gets a 2. And this time, Cesaro is perturbed. He looks like pissed that Sami was able to kick out again. Another "This is awesome" chant. Sami rolls to the outside of the ropes. He's like in the ring, but he's like outside of the ropes. Mm-hmm. He's on the ring. He's on the ring apron. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. Yeah, he's just laying on like the edge.
Lifelong wrestling fan and professional podcaster. Lapsed longtime wrestling fan. So Cesaro grabs him from the inside, and they're kind of like tussling, one on the outside of the ropes, one on the inside of the ropes, and they end up both going to the turnbuckle. Cesaro goes on to the second rope. You get a kick with the thigh slap, so you get the sound with the kick, which I love.
Of course.
I love that sound. It's so unnatural. It doesn't make any sense, but it's still fun. They both go on the top rope, and Zayn's elbowing him a couple times. Zayn goes for a Hurricane Rana, which is where you put your legs between... No, not between. You put your legs around the guy's head, and you're going to use your leg strength to flip him with your legs over your head. That's a Hurricane Rana.
That's right.
Or a Frankensteiner, I guess, because it's on the top rope. But a Hurricane Rana nonetheless. Or a Hurricane Rana. And instead of being able to do this, Cesaro...
Oh, this is crazy.
Do you want to describe this one, Rachel?
No, go ahead.
Cesaro catches him.
Goes for like a power bomb.
He lifts him in the air.
Yes.
I knew you wanted to describe it. Why did you just describe
No, keep going.
Zayn, though, counters it as he lifts him for the powerbomb and does Hurricane Rana him.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
And Cesaro backs into the other corner, and Zayn runs in and gives him the haluva kick, which is his finishing move.
That haluva.
Yeah, because it's helluva, but haluva.
It's a hell of a kick,
yeah.
but it's a haluva. Just sounds funny.
That only gets...
That's when Regal was like, the haluva kick, and I was like, it sounds really weird.
Because you can't just say hell of a kick, you gotta call it the haluva.
If I was announcing with him, I would have been like, yeah, that was one hell of a kick.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be that would be your thing, where every time somebody says a haluva kick, you'd go, hell of a kick, like John Madden.
Hell of a kick.
That's a hell of a kick. The haluva kick only gets 2, though, and the crowd goes wild. There's a moment where they just let the crowd roar because the crowd is so into it. Regal says this is a moment for make or break. The announcers are really excited. You can even tell the announcers are super into it. Both are trying to think, what is this going to take? They're both in the middle trying to recover. Cesaro's shaking it off. He's going, no, I got this. Zayn looks punch drunk, like he's supposed to look like he's like out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cesaro picks up Sami and uppercuts him, and Zayn just falls dead. And Cesaro says, stay down. You like get to hear him say stay down.
Oh, yeah.
Regal says it feels like you're dying 1,000 deaths in there, because like each move is like, you have to try to get back up from it, and it's like exhausting. Cesaro hits him again with another uppercut and kills him again. And Sami does this great job of just like flopping over dead.
I mean, he ragdolls. Like he just...
Yeah, he's great at that. It's like how you would really fall if you were hit, as opposed to the wrestler fall, which is like flat back.
Yeah.
The announcers go silent. They let the moment breathe because, like, this is the psychology of the match, right? Like, Sami's trying to earn Cesaro's respect. Sami crawls. He tries to get to his feet.
Yeah, like isn't the refs counting too? Because
because
he's
not getting up. Yeah, you can be TKO'd for a 10 count if you don't get up too in wrestling most of the time too. If the opponent doesn't do anything else, and Cesaro just keeps telling him to stay down, stay down. Sami crawls to get back to his feet. Like I said, he's like doing his best to get back up. Cesaro goes for it again, and he hits it, but this time Sami punches him back. And then we get the booyahs, which are the...
Boo, yeah! Boo, yeah!
Which is a result of John Cena, because it was part of the Cena sucks, let's go Cena thing, where they would boo yeah. So it translates into some matches sometimes where the guys go back and forth. So they're punching each other back and forth. Nobody's covering up because it's professional wrestling. And then they just grab each other by the head and they hockey fight punch each other, which is great. Yes. And the crowd goes nuts again. And then suddenly, Sami Zayn hits a German suplex on Cesaro. And flips him back into the corner, over his head.
Yep.
Sami goes for the haluva kick again, but Cesaro hits him with a boot. And this boot is like fucking, it like, bam!
Yeah. That one was a smack. Sami takes it very well.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He just, yeah. Anyways.
Cesaro goes for a neutralizer, which is his finishing maneuver. It gets countered, though, for a 2. And then Sami and Cesaro counter each other midway through a powerbomb.
Yes!
Sami hits a code red, and that gets a 2. And they're like, what is it going to take? The crowd at this point gives a standing ovation as the two let the crowd kind of breathe here.
Yes. But like the thing is, you're saying, what is it going to take? And I like that Regal like flips it here, right? It's like, this is the moment, like where you have to see what's happening, because he's saying, yeah, what is it going to take for him to get Cesaro, right? Mm-hmm. But what is it going to take to stop Sami too?
Right, exactly. Yes.
So I liked that, because it was like that. This is the moment.
Yes.
This is it.
Yes, because
like bring him up. You gotta pull him up now.
Yeah,
Let's
they're both
go.
Even, yeah. This is where I wrote my notes. Man, I forgot how good this match is. So Cesaro lifts Sami Zayn up and does the uppercut in midair, which is, I love the European uppercut where he throws the guy up with like all of his strength into the midair and just uppercuts the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Except Sami kicks out at 1, which is unheard of in wrestling. If you kick out at 1, that's a statement. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Kicking out at 2 is what everybody always sees, but he only kicked out at 1. And Cesaro looks freaked out. He looks shocked. that Sami was able to kick out at 1. And Zayn is picking himself up in the corner. He yells. He just screams, like, primally. He's just screaming.
Because he's got to get... It's like... Argh!
Cesaro yells back. He does a twisting discus uppercut. A jumping neutralizer, right into a jumping neutralizer, which is, like, kind of like a pedigree, almost. Like, he, like, lifts him up with, like, one arm tied, and then, like, kind of does, like, it's almost like a pedigree mixed with, like, a tombstone, almost, but, like,
yeah,
it's, like,
yeah,
your whole body goes down.
Exactly. It's like you're laying on top of them, too, and you lift up, and then fall down. Mm-hmm.
And gets the 1, the 2, and the 3. And Cesaro wins the match. Now Wilford Brimley gets up and starts clapping, by the way. So...
Yeah, it was a hell of a match.
They do. Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, hell of a match.
Yes.
Hell of a match.
Like, he is, like, smiling at this point. He's like, yeah. His man won, too. You know it was his man.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a we the people. That's... I don't have a question about that at all. If this gentleman is still around, he's got a don't tread me flag on his pickup truck, that's for sure.
He's doing it.
Oh, does he do it? Okay.
He looks at him and he goes, "We the people." I can't stop seeing him now every time I watch
I know.
this.
That's why I always feel bad about pointing people out in the crowd, because it's
great.
like you're always going to look at them then.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I like it.
After the recap, they do like a recap of like the best moves and stuff, and Cesaro walks around the ring in celebration. He does the "We the People." Sami's in the corner. He's all disappointed that he lost. Regal says if it's respect he wants, he got it from me. So William Regal says that he respects him now.
That's right. Now that's all the respect you need.
That's all the respect you need.
Regal.
William Regal respects you. What else do you want?
That's it.
Cesaro walks up the ramp. He's staring into the ring. And he looks like he's thinking about something. He's like, thinking about it. And he comes back into the ring. The music stops. And he looks down at Zayn, who looks up at Cesaro. And Sami's almost in tears because he couldn't get it done. He couldn't beat Cesaro. And the crowd chants Rachel.
Hug it out. Hug it out.
Which is a thing from Daniel Bryan that we'll do one day, I'm sure. But
one day. I'll wear my shirt that day.
Cesaro lifts Sami up and he hugs him.
And this is like the only time you could ever see two grown sweaty ass men truly hug it out.
No. Rachel, the NXT...
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
The NXT crowd loves nothing more.
I know, it's amazing.
Loves nothing more.
That bromance is the best.
They love, especially the NXT fans, love nothing more than men or women showing each other love and respect after killing each other.
It's beautiful. I know.
We will
I'm just
see
saying.
that a few times.
It is the most beautiful bromance thing.
And for some reason it works every time. Every time they do it in NXT, it gets to me because it's always like, yes, we did it. We did it, folks. We did it. We did it.
I don't know why, but it is. It is that feeling.
It's just something about it, and it's what separates NXT from even like AEW at this point. It's like that's how we finalize our feuds, with like love and respect. It's the strangest thing, but it works every time. Great. It works with Tommaso and Johnny. It works with Bayley and Sasha. It works later on with Paige and Emma on this same exact show. It just is like how they end the feuds. I don't know why, because Triple H never did that. Triple H was a dick to everyone on his way to burying them throughout his entire career. It might not have been his
choice then. Maybe somebody had that idea and they're like, let's just roll.
You know what we're gonna do, baby? You know what I like to do?
Yes, it was.
I want everybody to love each other because everybody's supposed. I'm sorry, Cody, but your dad's voice, I have to do it.
It's beautiful.
Everybody with just, love and respecting each other, and I think that's going to be the symbol. That's what we're going to put into the NXT. It's going to be like love, baby. We need to put some love out in the world.
See? I like it. I do. I would say I could 100% see that being it. Did somebody write it down?
Baby, when you're going to have love.
Read it back to me.
So Sami gets Olay chance. He gets the Sami chance, which we will also see is when you become a made man, because so we're going to see it with Sami, and we're going to see it with Becky, and we're going to see it with some more people that become the stalwarts is when you get to stand alone in the ring and the crowd chants your name. After a loss, in particular. That's when you know that you've made it. So he sells the knee on the way out. The announcers let the whole thing breathe. No post-announcer at all at this scene. Folks at home, if you want to know what NXT is, that's what NXT is. From the Triple H intro to Sami leaving.
Yeah.
That's NXT.
You could just stop there.
You can just stop there. You don't have to listen to us. We got your download. We're fine. And you don't have to watch the rest of NXT TakeOver Arrival if you don't want to.
If you just wanted to understand what NXT is, you're done. See you later.